In today's video, are exact macronutrient ratios important?
All by myself.
What's going on, guys? This is Paul from ProPhysique.com, and today's question, we got Steven here. Steven is, of course, Steven Beaugrand, one of the head coaches here at ProPhysique.com, and his YouTube channel just hit 1,000 subscribers. So, link to Steven's channel below if you like awkward content.
Yeah.
So I like to have Steven come over when we're talking science because, science with Steven is a thing. And if you don't know about it, now you know. So what we're going to talk about today is macronutrient ratios,
Right.
which are a thing because as coaches, we prescribe your macronutrient ratios and we have very specific thoughts behind them. But today's question comes from my Instagram direct message. So I'll put my Instagram on the screen. You can send me a direct message. I will answer the question. I'll also put Steven's Instagram on the screen. You can direct message him. And how many Instagram followers do you have now?
Just under 1,600. Be careful about sending me pictures, though. I tend to not accept anything that has pictures.
Did you get some bad experience?
Yeah.
Oh wow! All right.
Yeah.
I haven't had that problem, so
Fun fact.
yeah, don't
But
don't ruin it for me. All right. So what we're going to talk about today is the question that came in was how important is it to focus on exact macronutrient ratios? Meaning, if we are set at 200 grams of protein a day, 200 carbs a day, and 60 grams of fat a day, how important is it to be exact? Go, Steven.
Yes! All right, so the big thing that I think for me, and most of you who follow us probably realize this, is consistency, right? So biggest thing being, are we hitting some type of consistency on a regular basis? So most important, calories. Better than calories, protein, and then calories from fats and carbs. Better than protein and calories from fats and carbs, actually hitting your macronutrient ratios. Now, depending on where you're at, you are still going to make progress even if we can just hit calories. Now, will we make a little bit better progress with protein calories? Yes, absolutely. Will we make better progress than that with protein, carbohydrates, and fats with set numbers? Yes, we absolutely will. And so I think you guys actually, you and Lauren touched a little bit on this on the last Redefine Healthy podcast episode where you talked about prep and how different people respond differently to fats, different people respond differently to carbs, insulin sensitivity, and some other stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that obviously the big thing is if you're just starting, maybe a calorie goal is realistic, right? Because that's the consistency is your number one.
Yeah.
So we have to have realistic goals. So maybe working for a calorie goal is going to be something that's doable and manageable for you first off and right out of the gates. Let's do it. Awesome. As we build up, maybe we can start paying attention to protein and calories. And as we continue to progress and get better, things become easier. The lifestyle has now been implanted and it's easy for you to weigh something out and track it. Now maybe we can look at protein, fats, carbs as what we want to do for terms of how we're going to get that progress.
Yeah, so the way I think of macronutrient ratios is I have thresholds. So we're not going to go below a certain amount on protein, we're not going to go below a certain amount on fats, and we're going to fill in the rest of the gap with carbohydrates for our energy needs. With that said, the further we get away from stage condition or being lean, the less importance I place on being exact. Meaning, the leaner we get, when you get really, really lean, your energy demands are so specific that I actually have a very specific carbohydrate goal and fat goal because I know fat's going to help me digest, it's going to help me stay anabolic, and I know my carbohydrates are going to be used for energy, so I'm going to save them for the time that is most important. However, when we get into the improvement phase of bodybuilding, when our body fat is at its set point or above it, and our energy is not going up and down all day like this, then we can just go, you know what, as long as I'm hitting my 250 grams of protein, I'm in my ballpark for carbs and fats each day, I'm not in a deficit, then we're going to be moving forward. That said, you need to pay attention occasionally or as much as you need to make sure you're actually hitting your numbers. Because what I find happens with me is my appetite wanes, and what happens is I'll actually drop calories unintentionally because I stop tracking them. You find that too?
Oh, story of my life this week when I weighed in, 5 pounds lighter than I was supposed to be.
Yeah, so once you get to the off season, your appetite disappears. And I know for those of you that have dieting or just got done dieting, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? But we who coach athletes year round, because that's coaching. We actually encourage, bringing calories up, bringing cardio down. And when you get to a place where your body fat is not struggling to survive, where your body fat is actually at your set point, and for those that want to know what body fat set point is, that's basically just the genetic predisposition for where your body's happy. Your body's not telling you to eat all day, your body's not cold, you're not moody, you just feel good all the time. Well, at least for myself, and I guess for you too, appetite begins to drop.
Yes.
We'll actually have clients report to us, hey coach, I don't want to eat anymore.
Right. Yeah. And especially for those that are hard gainers, like I have to eat probably 3,400 calories a day to maintain around the high 180s, 190 range right now. It can be a lot of food. So it can be challenging sometimes when you're deep in that off season to make sure that you're getting in enough food to make sure that you're recovering and have enough to be in a surplus to build.
Yeah, and so metabolisms adapt in both directions. So just because you reach the metabolic ceiling and you're not gaining weight and you have to really push calories, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be able to diet on more calories.
Right.
It just means that your body's adapting. So you might have to push through those barriers to add lean body mass, to add tissue. You might have to get a little uncomfortable in both sides, okay? So the big takeaway here for me and Steven is it important to be exact? And the answer is sometimes, okay? The leaner you get, the more important it's going to be exact. Absolutely. I notice when my ratios are off and I'm really lean, okay? Right now, if you and I were to have 100 less carbs and 20 more fat a day, is it going to impact us? Probably not, okay? There may be some times where, like he says, he starts to see the scale go down because he's actually a little more active because our need is up, our energy is up, our hunger is down. So if you're not really paying attention, you can get into a accidental caloric deficit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I guess that's going to be it for us today, guys. Just a short one, but macronutrient ratios, how exact do they need to be? It's inversely proportional to probably how lean you are.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, have a great day, and go check out Steven's channel, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
By myself.